Welcome to this very short introduction to online Mendelian inheritance in animals, OMIA, to celebrate its 25th anniversary. In 1980, a small team at what is now the Sydney School of Vet Science began computerising all available information on inherited disorders in all animal species except mice and rats because they were already catered for. And this information was assembled into a compendium called Mendelian Inheritance in Animals, MIA, and it was called that because it was modelled on a human compendium that already existed since the 1960s, developed by Victor McCusick at Johns Hopkins University, called Mendelian Inheritance in Man. In 1991, the World Wide Web came into public existence, and this soon became very evident that it was going to be a wonderful way to make MIA available globally. And in that same year, the Australian National Genomic Information Service, ANGIS, came into existence at the University of Sydney. And this was Australia's first national bioinformatics resource. And it was an enormous boon to me because it meant that on the same campus where I was working was this fledgling bioinformatics organisation, and these people were enormously helpful to me in bringing me up to speed on this new field of bioinformatics, and to the extent that on the 26th of May 1995, with enormous help from the ANGIS people, we were able to launch for the first time online Mendelian Inheritance in Animals, or OMIA, on an ANGIS server. 25 years later, OMIA is now a major global resource for researchers. It's increasingly used as an information resource for companies that do DNA testing, and it's still hosted within the Sydney School of Veterinary Science. Present context is that OMIA now covers a total of 251 animal species. The vast majority of those are the major domesticated animal species highlighted here. And the major source of information, the major type of information that is stored within OMIA concerns Mendelian traits, that is, traits that are inherited in a simple single locus Mendelian manner. There's nearly 1,500 of those spread across all the different species. So these are species trait combinations. A subset of those, 870 odd, for each of those we have at least one known likely causal mutation. And OMIA records all the details about those. The total number of likely causal mutations that are now known for mainly disorders in these vast range of animal species is just over 1,100, and that number is increasing every week. And OMIA's major task these days is to record all the details that are necessary to be known about each of those likely causal variants. Some usage stats for the first 4 months of this year. OMIA has received a monthly average of around 5,600 visits from a monthly average of around 2,900 users. Small numbers by internet standards, but the important thing is the enormous geographic spread. 124 countries so far this year. I'd like to acknowledge the enormous help I've received from a huge number of people over the more than 25 years that I've been involved with this enterprise. All these people are named under the Acknowledgements tab on the OMIA homepage, and I am enormously grateful. More information on OMIA's 25th anniversary is available at the Faculty of Science's YouTube channel. There's a brief statement there by Professor Fraser Allen, the Dean of Sydney School of Veterinary Science, and there's a video of the talk that I would have given on the 26th of May had the COVID pandemic not intervened. Here's the OMIA URL just to remind you of how you can actually access OMIA. And speaking of URLs, I'd just like to remind authors to please use hyperlinked OMIA IDs in your publications if you're ever talking about a trait that's included in OMIA. The IDs are very simple binary things. There's a 6-digit unique ID for each trait in OMIA, and then there's a usually 4-digit ID for species. This is the NCBI taxonomy. It's a globally recognized numeric means of identifying species, and as you can see, the URL is just a simple function of that binary OMIA ID. Finally, there's several big necessary projects that we've got planned for OMIA. There's a succession issue. I'm now in my middle 70s. I'm fine at the moment, but that's not going to last forever, and we still need to sort out a succession plan, and we'll probably have to pay somebody to take over what I've been doing. OMIA needs regular maintenance, the website and the database, and there's a very long list of enhancements that we would love to do. But this is all in the context of the fact that all the information in OMIA has always been freely available to everybody. And so that raises the question of funding. And because of that, OMIA launched a crowdfunding project last year. And if anybody knows of anyone who's in a position to make a contribution to the long-term sustainability of OMIA, we would be very grateful. Thank you very much.